What's up, everybody? This is FPSticks coming at you with some Ferocious Practice against one of my Ultra friends, LA718. I'm leading Umbreon here against his Alolan Raichu. This is a great matchup for me. So I'm expecting him to switch out, but he ends up staying in. Pretty sure this is going to be a Thunder Punch, no point in shielding. Unlike Kanto Raichu, Alolan Raichu does not have access to Brick Break. So really not worried about anything he's going to throw at me. In comes his Charm User. I'm able to just hard swap in my Nidoqueen and completely farm this down with fast moves. I've really been liking Nidoqueen as my anti-Charm user. I do put up the shield here, but I actually would have survived that crunch. I just hadn't played out this matchup before, so went for the safer route. At this point, I have a lot of energy banked. Going to be able to throw 2 Earth Powers. That Earth Power would have done a good amount of damage against that Alolan Sandslash, but those Ice Punches are going to hurt. I'm weak to those Ice Punches because of my ground typing with Nidoqueen. I'm able to burn both shields just from the energy that I built up from farming down his Charm User. So that was really great. Another Ice Punch, don't shield it. I just let my Nidoqueen go at this point because it served its purpose. I know that Alolan Sandslash has access to Bulldoze, which is going to be super effective against my Minun. But I'm still testing stuff and just feeling out how these moves are going to hit. So I end up do shielding this. Ends up just being an Ice Punch again. I guess I was worried about that Bulldoze coming through. Gonna throw the Thunderbolt. This is the heavier hitting move of the 2 moves that Minun has. Does a really good amount of damage there. And at this point, I can tell he's farming up to a Bulldoze, and I have no option but to just take it and see how much damage it does. Now, because Bulldoze doesn't get stab, you can see it does not even knock me out. Minun is relatively tanky, but a move like Bulldoze that requires that much energy should hit harder for that, but it's kind of a crappy move and doesn't get stabbed. So again, I know I have that Umbreon saved in the back with energy. I swap it in, throw in the Foul Play here, takes out that Alolan Raichu, and that is the first match there. Looking at his team of 6, there is no really hard counter to my Minun because he's not running any ground types on his team. So I feel very comfortable keeping Minun in. I love leading with Umbreon. The only thing that would force me to switch out that lead is if they led with their Charm User. I always like to include Nidoqueen in there for the pure purpose of what it did that last round, which it can just straight up farm down any Charm User, and then you have so much energy ready for whatever else is coming in. So going with the same lead here, Umbreon against Vaporeon. This still is a matchup that I'm totally fine with staying in. So going to stay in this, build up energy. I know this is going to be an Aqua Tail. No need to shield it. Umbreon is ridiculously tanky and really defines this Cup's meta. I'm expecting the Charm switch in. There it is again. And this is exactly why I love leading Umbreon, is to hard lock their Charm User and then just straight farm move it. Straight fast move, farm it down. Kind of a tongue twister there. This time I end up not shielding the crunch. Does a good amount of damage, but I know I'm still going to come out of this alive. And again, I have more than 1 Earth Power saved up here. I know I should be pretty close to getting to that second Earth Power. Vaporeon is a really good counter to Nidoqueen. I was not able to get off that second Earth Power, but that's all right. I have Minun. I like keeping Minun in this line of 3 as well because the water users counter Nidoqueen pretty hard, and Minun is a good check to that stuff. So at this point, I know this is going to be an Aqua Tail again. I have 2 shields, so I'm going to use one there, keeping my Minun healthy. He ends up switching out to his Lairon, and I actually end up switching back into my Umbreon. I'm just going to try to throw some foul plays. That Body Slam from the Lairon does a decent amount of damage, but again, Umbreon is ridiculously tanky. Still just kind of feeling out how much damage each of these charge moves do to each Pokemon. I feel like I've done a decent amount of practicing within this cup, but it's just so diverse that I still feel like there's so much I have yet to learn from this, so I really appreciate all of these practice matches that I'm able to get in. Umbreon with that updated Snarl is just ridiculous. It can throw these foul plays so fast, and it's so tanky. So at this point, I just let Umbreon go because it has done its job. I've got all those shields down. Minun is in. I'm trying to just go for a fast move, farm down, but he ends off getting a charge move here. I know he's got the Vaporeon in the back, and I feel like it might have some energy, so I ended up saving that shield for when his Vaporeon comes back in. At this point, I throw the Thunderbolt. Discharge might have been enough to KO at that range, but why take a risk? He's got no shields, and I got the energy. So, good game there for match number 2. You can see I'm rocking a Piloswine currently, that shiny yellow pig. Still not sure if I like that very much. I've been getting wrecked by Skuntank. One of my buddies has been like absolutely destroying me with Skuntank, and I know Piloswine beats Skuntank, so it's kind of just in there sort of as bench pressure. Haven't been using it in battle too much. I want to be able to try that out a little bit more, but I end up bringing it in on this match. So I'm actually rocking double ground in this line of 3, and so I have to include Minun as that 3rd Pokemon. Otherwise, his water type, his Vaporeon, is absolutely just going to run through this line with no problems. Starting up the 3rd match here. Not super sure if this is a winning matchup. I know I can get to the Avalanches fairly quickly, and Avalanche with stab damage is a very heavy-hitting move. Ends up doing a good amount of damage to Umbreon. I'm fairly surprised by how much damage that did. So I'm going to stay in this matchup. Throw shield here. Going to try to get to another Avalanche. I'm assuming, yep, he beats me to a foul play. Again, that Snarl energy generation is so ridiculously good. But Piloswine takes it relatively well. Farming up just a little bit more there and then throwing another Avalanche. I'm expecting a shield to come out, but it doesn't. And wow, Umbreon survives with a little bit of health, but I'm able to farm up even a little bit more. There's the water type. So super dangerous for me because my Nidoqueen is also weak to Vaporeon. So I need this Minun to get rid of this Vaporeon, or I'm going to have a lot of trouble here. And the Vaporeon switches out. He brings in his Alolan Raichu again. I'm assuming that this Alolan Raichu has Grass Knot on it. But I'm not in the best situation here because with my Minun out of play, that Vaporeon is just gonna go on a wrecking spree of my ground types. Trying to get to this discharge, but he gets to his charge move before me. At this point, I just have to let Minun go. I know I'm going to be able to farm up with whatever I bring in here because of that my ground resistance to electric attacks. Brought back in the Piloswine, throwing this Avalanche. This will definitely knock out the Alolan Raichu, but he ends up shielding that. So I was able to burn the shield. I just let Piloswine go. Now, at this point, I know he still has that Vaporeon. I just have to go straight, fast move, farm down on this in order to try to get to that Earth Power to take out the Vaporeon. I'm able to take it out with fast moves. I get my Earth Power off. Is this enough to knock it out? It is not. This is one of those instances where having Earthquake would be much more advantageous. I am yet again still out of charge TM, so I'm unable to get Earthquake on my Nidoqueen. So hopefully within the next couple raids I can get a charge TM. So that's the end of the video. Still just trying out a bunch of different Pokemon here and feeling out the meta. Thank you everyone for watching. Thank you LA718 for the battles. If you liked the video, feel free to hit the like button and subscribe. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you later.